everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda.
I'm Rashawn.
And we are Not Your Mama's Greens.
Yeah.
Typically we make a lot of plant-based food content, but today we're bringing you guys another response video. You all seem to like those, so we're making another one.
You feel me?
And this week we're responding to a video that NLE Choppa made. If you guys aren't familiar with him, he is a rapper.
Singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Out of Memphis, Tennessee. 18 years old.
Is he 18?
Yeah, he's 18.
Yeah, so he's a young guy, and he's been making some really influential content, so we thought we would talk about it. So he made this video, which we'll put that video out for y'all, but he did a video talking about why you should eat a vegan diet or alkaline diet.
Why he went to a vegan alkaline diet, his reasons for it.
Yeah.
You know.
And he really did a very detailed breakdown of his reasons for going plant-based, because we all have different ones. So for some people it's the earth and sustainability, for some people like us it's diet, and for some people it's about the animals. So Rashawn, you want to dive into his reasons?
Yeah, I felt like he was coming from like a very spiritual sense when he was, giving his reasons for transitioning to a vegan diet, and it was really coming from like the process of how the animals are slaughtered whenever, they're processed and they do it all, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So he was saying basically that when an animal is slaughtered at a tortured point in its life, at a tortured state, then that's how the meat will taste, mm-hmm. and this is a fact.
Yeah,
I'm not having, looked it up, but I'm positive I've heard it a few times, more than a few times, that when an animal or if any creature is killed in a state of stress or a state of like a fear, mm-hmm. the muscles will tense up, and it'll stay like that once it's killed, and then whenever you cook it, the meat changes again. So it's really just how you want how the meat tastes and how the meat reacts whenever it's killed.
But also too, he talked a lot about like the vibration of the animal. So
mm-hmm.
like
the energy.
the energy. So saying that if you kill this animal that's stressed, that's been tortured,
and consume it.
Right, and it's in a low vibrational state when it's killed, and then you eat it, then you are what you eat. That's what he kept saying in the video. You are consuming something that is low vibration, and that's, a lot of people in the spiritual sort of vegan community talk about that, where food has vibration. So things that are dead, like animals, for instance, if you're consuming something that's dead, that's not necessarily giving you life. That's like a low vibrational food. But if you're eating like living foods like fruits and vegetables, then that is like high vibrational, and that's going into your body and creating that sort of environment. Right. So what are your thoughts about that? About like sort of the vibration of food?
It's something that I felt the difference whenever we transitioned to the plant-based diet. It was more of we felt a lot better. You wake up feeling better, and it's not, you can't really say, it's not from like, being able to get up and be active, or, you're not sluggish. It's more of you feel like psychologically better.
Yeah,
and that comes from eating so clean, and you're not putting anything that's just getting tossed out the other end with no use.
Yeah.
You can use probably like 20% of what you're eating whenever you eat these kind of meats that's at a tortured state.
Right. There's a lot of like things, like when you're eating animal products, there's a lot of it that's not actually helping you. That's just like waste. Exactly. And I feel like when you're eating like those plant-based foods, like your body is doing a lot more with it. You're a living creature, you're eating living foods, and that's sort of the idea behind it.
Right.
But I was going to say, his point about, the conditions of the animals, that was one of the things that inspired me to stop eating meat, 4 or 5 years ago, because I watched Food Inc.
Facts.
And that documentary is about the conditions of the animals, how they're being raised. A lot of times, those chickens, they're cooped up, they're in the dark, they're not seeing light.
A lot of the times when people mention chicken, I call it clone meat because of how it's
GMO meat. Yeah, well, also they're pumping them with hormones to make their breasts larger, because people like chicken breasts, and then the chickens can't actually walk, they can't move, so they're just sitting there.
And if the chickens aren't getting big enough, or if they grow at a weird proportion, they kill them and they don't use it. They don't use the meat that they don't use it. The animal they just torture.
It's terrible. And then during the pandemic, they were literally wasting food. They were like, when they're killing animals and just throwing them out, it's crazy. So it's like, not only are you killing animals for consumption when you don't necessarily have to, but also like you're just killing them and throwing them away, and like there are hungry people in the world. I'm not saying that like obviously we don't support eating meat, but I'm saying like
we support eating. We support like surviving.
Yeah, for sure. But I think maybe that took a left. What I was trying to say was not only are they doing something that's not ethical by killing these chickens, but also they're wasting them on top of everything.
Yeah.
So they're just killing these animals for the sake of killing them and tossing them away when there are people in the world that don't have food. And they did the same thing with potatoes. They had all these potatoes that they just threw away. And I was like, hello, people need food. Like, why not give those to people that are needy?
For a week.
I mean, we could have all got a bag of potatoes, like every household in America. When there are people that are literally starving right now, especially as the pandemic goes on. And, you know, there's no shortage of food, but, you know, you need money to buy food. So we have these companies that have excess food. Why not give it to the people that need it? So that was a whole friggin' tangent. But back to NLE Choppa, I think what I really admire about him is that he's young and that has this huge platform. He has a lot of people that look up to him for the success he's had at his age, and then he's using it to promote things like a vegan diet, which is awesome.
Coming out of an area like Memphis, Tennessee, where it's not the biggest thing that you see when you go to Memphis.
We live in Tennessee too, it's not the biggest thing that you see here.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
And fried chicken.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what soul foods, what you're really going to see.
In this area.
I mean, he grew up in the same household that we grew up in, a Jamaican and African American household. So it was
where a lot of the foods those staple foods are meat based. So I think it's great that we see even younger generations going plant based because
he was younger than me. I mean, he is younger than me when I decided to go plant based.
Yeah. So I think it's cool, and I think it'll inspire other young people, as if we're not young, but other younger people to go and eat a plant-based diet, because when you look up to someone, you're like, man, I really like this music. You know, you try to emulate them. You want to dress like them. You want to talk like them. You want to eat like them. And I mean, that's the same for all of us. We're all influenced by, you know, our favorite rapper, actor, whoever. And so when you see them doing something positive, then that's great, because it kind of like, you know, starts that chain effect. If he's doing it, maybe I should do it. And then the more people that are eating vegan, plant-based, vegetarian, what have you, you know, the bigger impact that we're going to have as overall society and like
the greatest forms of propaganda.
What?
Having if a celebrity does it, why not do it yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why they get paid the big dollars, because they are influential, and so that's why people pay them to advertise for them. So if you have someone on his level, you know, that's going to be like, oh, I want to support these plant-based brands or do advertisements for them.
Guardian sponsor.
Then, you know, you've got, you know, more people that are going to see that and be like, man, that's cool now. Like, and that's really what we need more of, is like, it needs to be cool to get everyone on board. I mean, that's just the way it is. You know, people want to be on the trend. They want to be on the wave. And there certainly has been a vegan trend in a wave. I think it's maybe died down right now. With everything that we have going on in the world, people aren't as focused on their diet. They're focused on like not trying to get corona, but hopefully as you know,
the whole
we recover.
quarantine thing, the health thing has been, people have been focusing a little bit more on their health since people have been in the house eating all day.
Yeah, but I would definitely hope that as people focus on their health, that they think about what they're consuming in terms of cutting down their animal products.
Facts.
And hopefully as people start to recover, as we recover as a society, then we can kind of get back to focusing on, you know, eating plant-based, because we're really in a dire time right now with the planet. We don't have time to waste, people. We really have to mobilize. We're out of time. So we're killing the planet.
We gotta work in reverse.
Yeah, and try to stop the damage.
It's gonna start with the 18-year-olds. The young generation. It's gonna.
And I mean, but it's all of us though, because I used to hate that back in college and stuff. People would be like, oh, it's on your generation. I'm like, hello, we all live here. We're all participating in society, and the oldest people in society tend to be the ones with the most power. Anyway, so we have someone like Joe Biden, who's in his 70s. He's the leader, the newest leader of the free world after Trump, who's also in his 70s. So we got to hold people on every level accountable for how we move forward in society. I think, yes, young people have a lot of power in terms of influence and numbers, but I think at the end of the day, at no matter what age you are, you can have an impact and you can change. Like, Period.
That's a fact.
I mean, even our grandma, who I didn't think would even consider plant-based food, she tells us all the time, oh, I tried this, I saw this on your Instagram. So there are people at every age that are learning new things and that are implementing it, and we need that if we're going to save our planet.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
for sure. That's a fact.
But yeah, I think that I think NLE Choppa, he's on the right page. I hope that a lot more young celebrities really take after that and realize that they have a lot of power to influence other people.
And hopefully it doesn't take a spiritual awakening for everybody to go.
He seems to have a spiritual awakening. I think it definitely is a spiritual thing. I mean, when you think about, because you start with thinking about what you put in your body, and then you're thinking about what thoughts am I putting in my mind, and what people am I around, and what energies I'm around. Like, it's a whole, it can really become this really big transformation within yourself, just from changing that one thing. And for me, what it was like, okay, how I grew up eating and how I've been taught to eat is not right. I'm switching over to this whole other lifestyle. So like, what else isn't right? You know?
Facts.
And so I think that is probably something that he might have encountered, because he's talking about meditation and that sort of thing. And a lot of that goes hand in hand for people. But it's certainly something that I've encountered as well.
Facts.
Over the years. I feel like since I stopped eating meat, that's when a lot of my sort of like spiritual journey was happening at the same time. So I think it definitely helps.
That's a fact. For sure.
Any other thoughts for Sean? Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching this video. If you want us to do more response videos, or you have someone in particular that you want us to respond to, please let us know in the comments down below. Also, we do meal prep, so if you're in the Chattanooga area and you want some of our tasty food customized for you, be sure to email us. We're going to leave that email down in the description box.
Drop a like. Don't forget to drop that like. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe.
Absolutely.
And then hit the notification bell.
So it goes straight to your phone. All right, everyone. We love y'all. We'll see you in the next one.
Hey, thank you, NLE Choppa.
Thank you. Peace.